Well, I think we're going to get going. I am going to mute everybody while I'm making the presentation just so background noise doesn't come in. And then I'll unmute you at the end so that anybody can ask any questions. So today we're talking about sales scripting that's part of advanced POS. I'd like to welcome everybody to Keystroke Live. We do it the same time, same place, every week. We have various topics every week. This month we're kind of concentrating on advanced POS features. And the first Wednesday of every month is with our president, Michael Gebb. Today we're talking about sales scripting. Scripts can be attached to inventory items or to a department, category, or location, which is actually from an inventory item as well that you just set up as, say, a book department script or a certain category script. When you attach them to departments, locations, or categories, Keystroke only looks at one of those scripts from those. So it's going to look in location. If the location doesn't have a script, then it's going to look at the category, and then it's going to look at the department. But it'll still run the scripts on the inventory record as well. You can also have starting and ending scripts and non-inventory item scripts. So occasionally you might sell something that you don't carry in inventory, and you can set up a specific script to run for that, or every time you start a transaction or end a transaction. A lot of different types of scripts, and I'll show you all of this in Keystroke. It can be something as simple as a reminder message to remind your clerk to ask something of the user. Do you need something else to go with whatever they've purchased? Can prompt for a comment. You can add tag-along items, like if you're building a kit or a gift basket, it can automatically add items. Or it can ask the clerk to choose various items from a list or a range of items. So for a gift basket, they might have a choice of one of these 5 items plus one of these 3 items, etc. It can also be for suggesting add-on items, very similar to a reminder message. You can also set up a keyboard macro or our data port function as part of scripting. Those get a little more complex, but it's a very powerful tool that can be used all over in Keystroke. We're primarily talking about sales today, but a lot of this is also available in purchasing. You can set your scripts up to be for all your sales transaction types or all your purchase transaction types, or just specific transaction types. And you can have a lot of different scripts per item. There are also advanced restrictions on scripts. Things like a daily time window, like happy hour. So it only works between 4 and 7 every day. You can have it for a specific day of week, day of month, or multiple days of the week. Maybe it always runs on Tuesday and Thursday, or it always runs at the end of the month or the middle of the month. You can also set up minimum and maximum quantities on your various scripts. So let's take a look at Keystroke and see how these scripts are set up. We're going to go to Database Manager, and we're going to look at an item that already has a script on it. So let's look at the one that I know. One of these books actually has a department script on books. So so when you look at the book itself, there's no script. But if we look at the department, let's take a look at our book department, we have a script set up. script number 84, which is that's the inventory record for the department script. And we just name it a department script, or we could name it book department script. So let's take a look at this script, which runs for every item in the book department. Notice it's a service item because we're doing department, category, location script. It has the department book. And what this script does, it has a couple of things. It has a reminder message. You can choose your type of script, give it a name so you kind of know what it's about. The different types we talked about are here. This is primarily a reminder message, and it gives you a place to type in the message that pops up in sales when someone purchases this item. It says, receive a free Keystroke POS bookmark. All right. There's not a lot of settings on this. We don't have any advanced restrictions. We're using it on all sales transaction types. And we haven't checked any of these parameters, but you can do that. Out of stock only is great as a substitute. So if you have a certain item and it's out of stock, you can have Keystroke automatically substitute a different item. You can have it only run on your default customer or for just returns. You can have it run once per transaction. If that's the case, if they buy 3 books, they may only get 1 free bookmark because it only runs once. All kinds of different settings you can do. So let's take a look at how we actually add the bookmark. We set it up as a tag-along item. So it's going to automatically add a bookmark to anything we purchase that's in the book department. We mark it as a component so that the price does not show up on a transaction receipt or an invoice. If you do a lot of scripting with tag-along items, you can choose based on the receipt or the invoice that you print whether or not these component items get printed on there. And in this case, we're going to roll up the cost. So if your cost is $5 and you're giving away a free bookmark, it's going to add the cost, not the price, but the cost to the price of your book to make your profit reports look great. So let's take a look at how this particular one works in Sales Manager. So if I choose a book, I know Curious George is a book. There's your reminder message. Hey, you get a free bookmark. This is something that the clerk would probably want to mention to the customer. Hey, great. You bought a book, you get a free bookmark. You hit enter or escape on that. You notice Keystroke automatically adds this bookmark to this item. Doesn't show a price or a cost. And I do know that the form file that I have for this does not have components, so I'm really not going to print anything. So that's one type of script. Let's take a look at a little more complex script. We have a script for gift baskets. So let's find that item here. Here's a gift basket with a bottle of wine. Now this is just a script attached to an inventory item. Notice it has 4 scripts on it. And these are either an add item from a range or add items from a list. So let's kind of take a look at how these work. So they get a bottle of wine. There's a message. It's an add item from range type. It's a message that says select one bottle of wine. We give it a range of by class, and you can choose how you want to choose this range. Is it by class or by stock number or description? Any of those. Give it a range. You can even test it here. So it's going to say, I can choose anything that has a class of wine, and you can test it here. Okay, those are my 2 items that have wine. So that tells me that's what they get to choose from. Again, it's a component. We're rolling up the cost. Generally, the quantity is just 1 with a minimum and maximum of 1. Remember I talked about advanced restrictions? We don't have any on this, but you can do this. You could set up, maybe a script only runs for a certain date range. A daily time window, maybe from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. You can set it up to do 1 day a week or just a couple of days a week. If you're going to do every day, just leave it blank. It's just every day. Same thing with day of month. You can choose just a particular day, date in the month. Now, because we've got months with various days, you can also just choose the last day of the month if you're always going to do it on the last day. So very similar with your parameters down at the bottom. This is a component. It's going to roll up the cost. And then we add some various gift items. This is a range. You get to choose 2 items with a range of stock numbers. So these are the items they can choose from. They can choose any 2 of these. Bath oil, candle, picture frame. And it's going to be minimum of 2, maximum of 2 items. Then they get to select a book. Gives you your choice of books. This isn't from a range. It just says, okay, I'm going to put this item in, this item in, this item in. So if you go down to these various items, if you hit F2 or insert, I can say, okay, we can add a writing tablet as well if you want. Price is a little different, but that's just the way you add individual items. So all of these are pretty much the same. And then another set of gift items, which is the same items that we had before. So let's take a look at how this works in Sales Manager. So when we sell our gift basket, first, and it's going to run these scripts in the order they're in the list. So the first, remember, was selecting a bottle of wine. Okay, we're going to choose wine. Okay, because it's wine, we have to make sure that they're over the age. They have, they meet the age requirement. Then it comes up, okay, I can choose 2 items. I'm going to choose this one, and I'm going to choose this one. The third script in that list was select a book. So we're going to choose green eggs and ham. Remember, all our books had a script on it, so it's going to run that script as well. They get a free bookmark. Then they get to choose 2 more items. So your little message that you set up is going to show on your list box to kind of remind the clerk of what's going on. So we want a picture frame and another candle. So there's all of the items that we've added, and it's rolled up the cost in the bottle of wine if we are in the gift basket. If we take a look at this gift basket item, notice our costs are 0 because we're going to take the cost from all the items we add to it. But if we look at the line item detail, the price is the same, but it's rolled up all the costs. The cost of all these items we're adding are $29.60. It gives us a pretty decent profit margin, so it keeps your profit reports kind of in line. So scripting can be just a wonderfully powerful tool. It can help promote sales. It can You know, if you have items that you want to push, you can always have a reminder message. Since we're in sales, let's take a look at our starting and ending scripts and our non-inventory item script. They're in the transaction menu parameters and entry, and up here you're going to see your scripts. So we don't have anything for a non-inventory item, but maybe we want to add one, and this is where you do your scripting for these three types of scripts. So let's just do a prompt for comment. And we're going to have a message something like, please enter full description of the item that you're selling. And then the comment, you might want to just start here with, you know, with just something that says description. So when you sell a non-inventory item, it's going to pop all this up. We're going to do this for all customers, all transaction types, and save it. I'll show you how to work this, but this is, we're going to do, give it a name, and we can test it. All of our scripts have a little test button. So it says, okay, here's our message. Please enter full description. Then it goes to the comment box. So it's all there. Tests pretty good. We're going to save it. Starting and ending scripts, pretty much the same way. In Keystroke sample data, we have a starting script that's a reminder message to choose a customer. So it's always going to pop up. If you don't choose a customer, it's going to remind you. I don't think we have any ending scripts, but you could have it prompt for a comment or something like that. So if I'm going to sell a non-inventory item, let's just say test. Can't spell, but that's okay. This is my non-inventory item script that I added to, you know, I'm entering a description. Again, I can't spell. I'm going to put a price of $10. Please enter the full description. Somebody wants to buy the pen that you're using. If you want to sell it, great. That shows you how that goes. If we clear the screen, and if we just do, I don't know if you caught it, so I'm going to show you the starting script. If you don't enter a customer, if you use your default customer, it prompts to choose a customer and how to do that. So again, a very, very powerful tool that you can use all kinds of places in Keystroke. So let's kind of back this up a little bit. Remember, you can add them to inventory items specifically. There's a script button down at the bottom. If you're doing departments, category, or location script, you create an inventory item that's the name of the department script or the category or location script. You attach the script to that item, but then you put that item into the script field on that particular department, category, or location. Also, the starting, ending, and non-inventory scripts are they're great ways, just little reminder messages for your clerks. Also gives them things that they may want to speak with the customer about. All kinds of different scripting types. The prompt for comment and the tag-along items or adding an item from a list. These are probably the most common. And you can do it for all different transaction types or just one type. You can have as many scripts per item as you'd like, and all kinds of advanced restrictions.
I don't honestly remember what all this stuff was.
Does anybody have any questions relating to scripting?
Some of this was like shit that isn't on the menu, but exists. This is a whole list here.
Does anybody have any questions?
List, a whole list that she just gave me.
I have a question for Nick. We got some background noise.
Yeah, I unmuted everybody so we could ask some questions. So.
Okay. Nick, when will this be posted to YouTube?
I'll try to get it out there as soon as Lynn can get me the recording file.
Okay. Great. Thanks.
So hopefully today.
So let's talk by this afternoon.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Does anybody else have any questions?
Anything new? Off topic. Anything new on EMV?
Not at this point, no. We know for Cayenne that the Genius device will be there. We're still not there yet with Mercury. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for coming today. Scripting's a very powerful tool. Hopefully you'll use it and use it as a sales tool for your customers. It's available in advanced POS. Thanks everybody again for coming. Next week, reoccurring billing with Mike Tabor, another advanced feature that's very powerful. I hope everybody has